Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, it's me, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So let's get into the video, and today we're going to be talking about Love Island Games Season 1 Episode 9, and let's get into the video. So we left off as Johnny and Jess became the power couple, but that didn't mean anything because all that meant is that they had enough coins or more coins than everybody else to decide whether they put their coins into which couple they want to make vulnerable. So while everybody is having their coins and, discussing which couple to make vulnerable, some people were basically just wanting to make Liberty and Callum the bottom. Almost everybody made Liberty and Callum the bottom because they had 332 coins. Like, that was just OD. Like, that was just, they were overdoing it. Like, they really did them in. So then, a lot of people are really kind of like playing this game as Friendship Island. It's basically purely on, their friendships, because a lot of people are from the same seasons. People are in couples that have people from their season, and then you have people of their season, like especially with Jack and Justine. Justine, has loyalties to Ray because that's her guy friend in the villa. And then Johnny, he saved them the last time, so they owe, she basically says like, okay, we owe Johnny. And then we have Jack, who, is good with Callum and all that. So it's just like, different sides, and Toby and things like that. So it's just kind of like, where do we go from here? Jack was definitely correct in saying like, okay, Ray and Imani has been power couple. Let's think strategically and like try to not make them power couple again. Well, with that being said, because of the whole loyalties and friendship situation, they did not make that happen, because at the end of the day, Ray and Imani became power couple for the second time as a couple, and the third time for Imani, basically. So with that being said, like, they're really the couple to like look around and be. Like, Imani, Ray, and Johnny solely are the people that you really have to look out for when you come to these competitions. So then, in second place was Jack and Justine, and third place was Toby and Georgia, fourth place was Sally and Yael, fifth place was Kira and Megan, and that left Johnny and Jess and Liberty and Callum as the two vulnerable couples. So Johnny and Jess were the power couple for that one challenge, and then they became the bottom couple. So it was like, okay, like look how you go back down to being a vulnerable couple. Next thing you know, they get a text that the hideaway is open for the power couple, which is Ray and Imani. So they get sent to the hideaway. They go into the hideaway while everybody else is getting ready for bed. And then in the hideaway, Ray and Imani get a text which tells them that they could swap out a vulnerable couple, make them safe with a safe couple. So they were like, Ray was like, okay, let's save Johnny and Jess because Johnny would, he has Ray's back and whatnot, and he will return the favor. And then I think Imani was a little bit like, wary on that decision, but they saved Johnny and Jess. And then they picked Toby and Georgia to make vulnerable and to be in the duel with Callum and Liberty. So they were the only ones who know about this whole switcheroo, situation. And they did not tell anybody about that at all. Okay, they did not tell anybody. So after the hideaway, they had their game faces on. They didn't say nothing. It was just like nothing happened. Also during the day, Sally was a bit upset about the whole comment about Toby saying or alluding to Georgia that, she was probably faking the relationship that they had. So she was upset. She was talking it out. Even when Georgia was overhearing, she was still talking it out because she really was hurt about it. So later on, they had a chat, and she was just like, she really does, did care about him during the week that they shared. Toby was just like, okay, they were coupled up for a week, and then after they, were separated, they didn't speak anymore, and it was just like, radio silence. So Sally was just basically continuing saying, like, she likes a guy who pursues her, makes her feel like, he's about her, and I think Toby wasn't really doing that, so that's why she just felt away. But she, always did express that she liked Toby. So at the end of the day, they squashed it out. They, basically were on good terms and whatnot. It is what it is. He's with Georgia and she's with yeah, at the end of the day. So they don't know, Georgia and Toby do not know that they're going to be in a duel with Callum and Liberty. They were like being happy that like, oh, they're in third place, like, oh my gosh, they're not in last place, or people really like them in the villa, da da da. Next thing you know, Maura comes back in, getting ready for the duel, because they really put Liberty and Callum through the ringer. Like, every minute they're the bottom couple. They gotta fight for their lives. Like, every time they do a challenge, Liberty and Callum are preparing. They are, preparing for that challenge, or pretending to do a fake challenge and just prepare themselves, which is actually pretty smart. So when they get to the little battling ring, and Moore is basically like, okay, Jess and Johnny, Liberty and Callum, come up here, get ready for the duel. So she's like, well, your power couple got a text, which basically saves, one couple and then switcheroo. So with that being said, that shook everybody because nobody knew. Everybody was shook. So as soon as, Johnny heard that, they get to save one of the vulnerable couples, I think he felt at ease because he definitely knew that Ray would have saved him. And he did. So they got saved. And then when they found out it was Toby and Georgia, Toby already knew it was him because he was stressing. As soon as he knew that there's going to be a switcheroo, he was stressing.
We chose Toby and Georgia.
Georgia and Toby, come and join me.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
I'm in shock because they really have a connection going. In this villa, you never know why people are going to make decisions. It's not Love Island, it's Love Island games.
He was stressing. So they got set up, like, literally by Ray and Imani. Like, they were like, why did he even pick us? Because Georgia was only in the villa for maybe 2 to 3 days max. And she's getting the boot. So they had to duel against Liberty and Callum did not want that because also he's good friends with Toby. So it's like you're battling a friend. But in that duel, Liberty and Callum were dragging Toby and Georgia. It was just like Georgia was not putting in not much effort. Like, Toby was doing the most work.
Islanders, you may start in 3, 2, 1.
Mans was really had to pull both Callum and Liberty and then still pull Georgia with him so they can reach the bell to like hit it before the other team does. They had to go 4 rounds because the first 2 rounds Callum and Liberty won, and they could have won the second round, but it just did not happen. Like, he was this close to hitting the bell the second round. The third round, Liberty pulled herself up on the rope, which they couldn't do, and they had to go again. So they were like exhausted. The duel started in the afternoon, and then by the time the fourth round started, it was nighttime. It was dark outside, and I'm just like, they were dueling from afternoon to dark, and I'm just like, okay, because the sunset, the sunrise, like, yeah, it was dark outside. So the fourth round, I just think Toby was just tired. He just did not want to go anymore. It was just like, it was an unfair duel matchup, to be honest. It was unfair all around because you were safe one moment and you're not, because of the power couple chose you to be replaced by Johnny and Jess, which is just like, are you serious? So after Toby and Georgia lost, you know, Maura told them before the duel even started that whoever loses has to be sent home immediately. So nobody knew that they were going to be sent home immediately, so they were shook on that. And then with the decision that they made, you know, Toby and Georgia lost. And I think almost everybody was rooting for Toby and Georgia. So Toby and Georgia lost, and they got sent home. And then Ray and Imani was like crying. They were crying. And they were saying that, you know, they probably regretted their decision to send them into the duel. Sally was very, you know, worried for Toby too, because she was also crying on the sidelines. Like, she was that worried for Toby. So, you know, they were the main ones crying. They were very upset. I mean, they were mostly upset because they didn't want to see anybody going. But, yeah, they were the main ones crying. So, Toby and Georgia got sent home, which was a bit bittersweet. But it is what it is. You know, Callum and Liberty get to see another day. You know, they've been fighting. They've been showing somebody that they can at least win something. You know, they can win something. Next thing you know, we see a little preview, and it looks like 3 new Islanders are coming in, which is Mike from Love Island Season 6, which is the winter season, and then Kieran from Season 2. So that's another person from Season 2 on Love Island, and he's also on the USA season, so therefore, you know, he's gonna be with Ray, Justine, Sully, you know, all of them, even Johnny is his dude. Like, it's gonna be a whole menace. Like, Kieran is a menace. And then we have Courtney. So 3 new Islanders are coming in. They're probably gonna shake things up. I feel like they do need to shake it up a bit, even though we do like this bunch of people. This is also Love Island games. It's not the original Love Island. So things are different. You can't go on the same basis as how you were going on. So with that being said, you know, things need to shift and change a bit, because not a lot of people are thinking of strategy. They're thinking of like friendship and alliances. And I think Imani is kind of trying to like put like, okay, let's think about strategicness of how do we win, you know, how do we win this game. But it is what it is. That was episode 9. So in the episode, Megan was, you know, sick or not feeling well, and so she wasn't a part of the duel, and obviously she wasn't, you know, vulnerable or anything so like that, so she just wasn't there for the half of the episode. Kira, basically all she wanted to know was that at least be honest and upfront about the whole situation, the EL, and not having her to find out in front of everybody, in front of that whole challenge that they had, and which I think is very fair, because she should have not keep it to herself. And because even Georgia was like, I think honesty is the best policy, you should definitely tell her, and Megan just didn't do that. She did not say anything. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, anyway guys, if you like this video, like the video, comment down below, let me know your doubts, comments, concerns. Yeah, subscribe to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, you guys watching this video, peace.